to the Homeless in America podcast, hosted by Metro Relief. We're diving into the deep end of homelessness and exploring ways you can help your community. Get ready for relevant stories from the streets with special guests and the leadership of Metro Relief.
Welcome to Homeless in America podcast. It's good to be here. Today we have Charlie again and Wendy. Both. Thank you guys both for joining us. Today we're going to talk a little bit about homelessness in Dallas.
Yes.
We do not have all the answers. We don't know everything. But one of the things that we'd love to do is be able to talk a little bit with you, Charlie, about how you think the situation is going, what you feel like the situation is. You've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you, almost 2 years.
Why are you intrigued by the homeless population? Why do you want to help?
When I was about 14 years old, I had a cousin, and she had 2 kids, and her son, Lance and Sean. I played with her kids all the time, and she was really kind, and she changed, and then she was gone. And the next time I saw her was a couple years later on Thanksgiving Day when I was 15, and she was homeless on the streets of Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, they brought her home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they went and scooped her up and brought her to Thanksgiving dinner. And I think that's what triggered it in me. I saw it happen to someone.
Yeah.
And I lost 2 cousins that I played with and had fun with. And I was just told that mom has she's mentally ill and she's decided to live on the streets.
Oh, wow.
And then I had addiction problems up until I was 26 when I gave my life to the Lord. And the first thing I did, and I think it was probably 1989, is I found the truck for Salvation Army in Columbus, Ohio, and they had a food truck, big silver bullet.
Really?
Yeah, so I went out on that, and they told me, don't get off the truck, don't give them your coat, don't give them your shoes. I got off the truck, I gave away my coat, and I gave away my shoes.
Hold on. There was a Salvation mobile
unit
homeless
in Columbus, Ohio, 30 some years ago.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It was awesome what they did. They made the soup, so
Really?
Yeah.
Some of the people probably know what that was called. Salvation Army.
Just Salvation Army,
soup.
Columbus, Ohio. It was a mobile kitchen.
Oh, cool.
They didn't make the food on the truck, but they served it out the
You
window.
are a volunteer?
Yeah, I've been volunteering most of my adult life since I got saved.
That's awesome.
Amen on that.
So the first time I met you down at Tent City.
Yep.
And
that was weird.
Several years ago. You had the bus and we had the food truck.
And a stage and a carnival.
We were the whole thing.
You had balloon animals.
No, well, we did have people to do that.
You had
stuff.
like a carnival.
Well, no.
I was jealous. Bro.
Yeah. Pastor John was a good dude. He passed away. And then Leanne, it was called Hands and Hearts.
Yep. And it felt like you guys were throwing a party every Saturday.
They really loved on them. It was cool.
Yeah.
They had a transitional living house over there by the fair, and that's what got me involved in transitional living.
I met you under the bridge, and you were volunteering with another group, but basically preaching. No?
Yeah.
I mean, you were preaching.
Yeah, and you took my spot under the bridge with the bus.
Yeah, I did.
I think we almost went thug for Jesus for that spot that day.
Yeah, me and you, they set up a boxing ring, and we tried to go toe-to-toe.
We did. We verbally sparred.
Yeah. Probably.
God bless you, you heathen. You got here before me. That's my spot. No,
that's my spot. That's your... No, get the frick out of here.
No, we didn't say
These are my people.
Yeah. But that's when I first met you. But, I mean, I always volunteered, and I did a lot of prison ministry. And about 20 years ago, I started going to a halfway house in Dallas for guys that got out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
And I do 12 Steps to Jesus and kind of incorporated the Word in with the Bible, in with the 12 steps. And then I had an altar call after a couple of months, and there was like 40 people in the room, and like 10 dudes came up and got saved. And the director of the place came up to me and said, yeah, you can't do that anymore. So they asked me not to come back because it was too religious. It was secular. It's halfway house. They were down there towards fairgrounds. I don't know if they're still now, House of Hope or something.
Yeah.
And then I just prison ministry, just helping people and volunteering. I volunteered for a lot of people.
That's cool.
And then I met you about 2.5 years ago when I was working at the Freeman House.
So go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to ask,
gonna
what
ask
brought
all
you
kinds of
to Metro Relief? You could have went anywhere.
I met
begged him.
No, he did not beg
Please
me.
come here.
I met Logan Tate.
Yeah.
And Logan was bringing guys into the Freeman House, and we hit it off.
Yeah.
Logan kept on saying, you need to meet Austin. It took a while for us to be able to get our schedule down. And we finally met and had Mexican lunch, had tacos.
Yeah.
And
I
we
remember.
prayed, and I went home that night. I told my wife, I said, I think I'd like to run with that dude, And then it took a while.
And God's
took
been
a
telling me,
while.
like, look what you have to look like. I'm supposed to look forward to being Charlie in 10 years.
Oh my gosh.
Boom, boom, boom.
No, you're a great guy. Seriously, I appreciate you being here and being around me. I know Logan, what he saw in you is what a lot of guys see in you, which is you call it out, man. I mean, even the shirt you're wearing right now, Waking the Dead,
Yeah.
something that you started. You're about helping people further, and you don't know BS with Charlie,
Yeah.
man. I mean, really, you have a good time, but when it's time to get serious, you get serious, and
Yeah.
I appreciate that about you. Why is your heart still captured? I mean, you're starting to realize some things about your story, like even me. You've been on a mobile outreach like 30 some years ago.
Yeah.
More than that, and then your aunt, your cousin, and then so your family was affected by it.
Yeah.
And so and then you volunteered during your professional career. You were volunteering to help homeless people. So I'm just curious, like, why do you still have a heart for it? I mean, why do you keep coming back here every day? You could go get a salesman job, make more money probably.
I do it. I had a little bit of money there for about a decade, and it didn't impress me. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
I tried keeping up with the Joneses, and so the more I volunteered, the more I thought I wanted to be like on a church staff, and God had a better idea, And so what drives me is I like helping people move forward. I like to make them at least get the next step. And my philosophy in my personal life is I may not get to do the whole deal, but maybe this one person I meet on the street, I'm going to be able to pop a little hole in the dirt, and the next person come along going to drop a seed. Or maybe I'm the guy that drops a seed, or maybe I'm the guy that drops a seed, puts a little dirt on top, waters it, sees it bud, but I never get to see the flower. I don't know what role I'm playing in somebody's life, but if I sense that I'm supposed to do something, I'm pretty much going to do it.
Yeah, I get that with you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, and it can consume you. I mean, you start to care about some of these people, and I care about all of them, but you get connected with them,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had so little in my life
Right.
and been so full,
Isn't that the truth?
I'm good. I mean, I could probably go back in the real world, but I think I am in the real world, to be honest.
What do you say? You say you couldn't be so empty, be so full. What'd you just say?
Oh, I said I've never had so little
Oh,
in
so
my
full.
life
Yeah.
when it
Yeah.
comes to physical things.
yeah, and been so full.
But I've never been so satisfied, so full.
Well, I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you, don't I? Sorry
I have
about
some amazing things to say over
Go
here,
ahead.
Wendy.
that. Go ahead.
I mean, like, this stuff is bubbling out. I'm almost like a teapot.
Bubble
and if it would
over,
just
honey.
go, blah,
Bubble over. Bubble over. Bubble, bubble.
okay, bubble.
Bubble over.
I don't even remember what it was. It was so good.
Okay, since you don't remember, the question I was going to ask you.
Go ahead, please.
You use the word broken, and that's not the first time that I've heard it from you. And then the analogy you use, if you can meet one person and put a hole, and meet another person and put a seed, and meet another person and water them, it's broken people that do the watering.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, if you have a vase that's perfect,
Yeah.
it doesn't water anything.
Yeah.
But everything that's broken leaks, and it's what is left. That seed that you planted, it's the brokenness that waters it. So
Yeah.
You got to
Thank
be a
you.
broken cup.
think about it.
Yeah. The scripture that drives me,
Hold on,
I know that with Metro Relief, this place is awesome. It's Isaiah 58, Matthew 25. But in my personal life, it's Lazarus and Jesus with the small community, and how Jesus's hair wasn't on fire. His best friend was dying. He took 3 days. He stopped, helped a couple people. He got there. Everybody's mad and complaining at him. Oh, you say you're the Son of God. Dude, you suck. And he goes over there and everything happens. And I really think it was for the crowd. And what Jesus shook the crowd back to reality when he turned at him and he said, now you remove the grave clothes.
Yeah.
He could have brought out, Lazarus was his best friend. And I think he kind of, to me, when I read that scripture, I feel like he's looking at me and he says, quit your whining. Get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
Quit sitting in your chair. I can't coach football. I tried coaching basketball and all I taught was how to foul correctly and not hurt somebody. I'd have 10 players and I would tell the team I want 48 fouls by the end of the fourth quarter. And it's just the way I roll.
Yeah.
But I can help somebody on the street. And if I can't, I will humble myself and find out how I can.
Yeah.
And do the best I can.
Yeah, I like that about you, Charlie.
Yeah.
I just enjoy it.
Yeah, you were, and I've told you this a few times. There's a book. You need to read it before I even talk. I'm going to talk about it, and now you got to read it. It's called The Making of a Leader. You're in the 4.5 stage. You're about in 5. Which means that you have all kinds of influence. You do. You have all kinds of influence.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. These people.
It's good.
You do.
I'll
And
see it.
it's good for Metro Relief, and it's good for you. I mean, it's good for the people that are listening. It's good for our staff. Charlie, tell us a little bit about what you do here at Metro. I can tell a little. We have 2 positions that are almost the same. One's a CEO, one's the executive director. Usually you don't have both. In a big corp you would, but we're small. And the reason why we do that is because Metro Relief and my passion is to continue to create new models of ministry across the United States. And Charlie's the executive director here in Dallas.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the issues that you have in your work. What are you really trying to do on a daily basis here at Metro Relief?
And Metro Relief, on a daily basis, to just take care of what's in front of us.
Yeah.
Because we have a backlog. My only example is, again, in my life, I remember when I became a Christian, I had to hang around with all these people, and they all became good friends, but I was kind of like the cool jock with the long hair, that did everything that the other jocks wouldn't say they do, but that made no sense. But anyways, I was one of those dudes. And so it's like I have this new group of friends. I hadn't met my wife. I met my wife at church. And while I was making friends with these guys and having fun with them, there was people across the room that were laughing, and they had nicer clothes. They had nicer cars. And I'd be looking up. I'd be looking at them, and I would be looking over the people the Lord put in front of me, and I'd say, wow, I want to be in that group. Mm-hmm. And the Lord convicted me one night, and he didn't say it verbally, but what came to my mind is, why don't you take care of what I put in front of you? Maybe you'll go there, maybe you won't.
Preach.
So I am a child of God, and he fetched me off the island of misfit toys. Mm-hmm. And I don't mind misfit toys. Yeah. Bring them on.
Yeah.
They've got courage.
Yeah.
So I like... Every day we're trying to find people, it's changed and fluxed, I'm sure, over the years. But right now we're trying to figure out where to take our clients that need diversion, which could be transitional living, which we can do locally. But then, there's some people we know on the streets that are homeless and nobody will take them.
Yeah.
Not just their family, but now... None of the places that are local won't take them. And what's nice about what we've done at Metro Relief with the partners all over the country is we can call a mission in another state or even another city or a transitional program, because the way we've networked over 11 years, and we can send our friend in Dallas, if they'll agree to it, and they'll do an intake, and do the work that it takes. And we can send them to Longview. We can send them to, we've sent them Baltimore. We've sent people to Washington with their consent and with them wanting to get their life together. So I think we're trying to divert, or do we call their family? Do we get them to detox? And then to get somebody in detox, that can take days, and it consumes you because you think that this person's going to die. You got them in front of you, and your full-time vocation job is to help people, and you got this guy or woman that all you want to do is get them to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we do that, and then some of the staff, mobile case managers, are looking for living places, apartments, or whatnot for people that have housing vouchers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So every day is a new adventure.
Okay.
But I guess we just try to take care of the person that's in front of us.
Okay, let's talk about Dallas.
Yeah.
We are in the great, I didn't even know it was called this before I moved here, the Great Metroplex.
Yeah.
Yeah. I called this, that's crazy. I started,
DFW.
we came up with the name Metro Relief before I even knew this was called the
really?
Metroplex.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then when we got here, I was like, why has everybody got Metro in their name? Metro Dallas Homeless Alliance, Metro Crest, Metro everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And it's because it's the Metroplex. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
It took me a minute. But anyway, God knows stuff, So he was preparing me.
Yeah.
What we got?
Keep your the
I
mic.
need to keep my
We
phone.
both got to remember to keep our mouth by the mic.
I'm trying.
What?
But I sound like
Trying,
Barry
trying.
White.
Ooh, go ahead, Dallas.
I wanted you to talk about Dallas.
Yeah.
I wanted you to tell me what's going on there. I mean, how many people live in Dallas? How many homeless people do we got? I mean, I can talk a little bit about that. We actually have, I got a piece of paper somewhere around here, but we have, I think it's around 2,000 people.
Homeless in
homeless?
Dallas?
Yeah.
Homeless? No, it's closer to, they said 67,
Yeah.
6742, but I think there's a lot.
6742.
Yeah, in Dallas in the point in time count, the pick count.
Oh,
And-
maybe I'm
Well,
thinking
you
of
talk
people
about Dallas,
outside.
the
You're
city or
thinking-
Dallas County?
That's true.
Let's just go with the point in time
Yeah.
City.
count. Yeah. So I think there's a lot more than that. I think Dallas is going the right way for the history I have with the people that have been doing homeless outreach and helping the homeless in Dallas that have been around for a long time that I've been lucky enough to get to know. It seems like they're going in a good direction. I think MDHA, Jolie Robinson's done a pretty good job at getting people to collaborate and come
She
to the
had.
table. She's
Yeah.
done a
She's
good
great.
job.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's got the right motives. We all want to do the right thing, which is get them off the street.
Yeah,
But I think it's hard.
it is.
So in Dallas, I think it's increasing
Yeah.
pretty quick.
What's increasing? Homelessness?
Homelessness. And then also I think as Dallas increases and as they do some programs they're doing in the city of Dallas and in Dallas County, that it's going to push some people out to the suburbs that are homeless. I think that could happen.
Yeah.
And so talking about Dallas, I just think that I think there's a lot of work to do.
I'm pretty
I think
sure
people could. It'd be great if you could get everybody sit down at a table and look at. It's like so many different sides to homelessness and the solutions,
Mm-hmm.
And I think people want to make we've said it numerous times, cookie cutter, same thing for everybody, which I think when a boutique outreach like us, we're a little bit different. And there's little outreaches all around Dallas. I mean, probably 50 or 100. We don't even know them all.
Yeah.
But what's special about them is that one thing they do good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I am favoring Metro Relief, and we do a lot of things good.
Yeah.
But what we're really excel at is vital documents. We can get them quick. We know how to get them. We have good contacts. We collaborate well with people, and we are good at that. But So when they start trying to get everybody to go into the same funnel to come out with the same thing, I think they're going to lose a lot of quality care, quality help for quantity.
Yeah.
So that's my concern. But I do think everybody wants the same thing, just different ways.
What do you think? Trivia time.
Mhm.
Trivia time. What do you think Dallas is as far as the number in population of cities? So in
Dallas 2.7.
no, I mean like in the top 10. Where are they at? What number are they? We know that New York is number 1. We know that
You talking about as far
LA
as
is number
homeless?
2.
Homelessness?
No, population.
Just population?
We're around 8 or 9 now. So I would say
Good job. We're 9.
Yeah.
It says 1,400,000. Like I think they're going. Yeah, I don't know, but it says the 200 largest cities in the U.S. by population.
And Dallas is number 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
So
Better than number 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, Dallas is number 9
Yeah.
in population. And whenever the reason why that intrigued me is because it's growing in population, and I wonder if the homeless population will continue to grow with it. I hope not. But the metro area of Dallas is growing very quickly, just
Yeah.
like a couple other places
Mhm.
in Texas.
Well,
It's
we
growing.
drove through Frisco last night. It was like
Yeah.
it's like driving through a big city. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It's definitely changed.
So if you were ever asked that question, do you think that the homeless population in Dallas is growing? What would your answer be?
Without any scientific
Mhm.
mathematics and all that, I would
Mhm.
say I think it's growing.
And what would you attribute that to, though?
Addiction.
Yeah.
I think I can say it's people losing their jobs.
Yeah.
I think it's people getting evicted.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think people sold their houses. I don't know what's ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think you want to say it's going down, but I just feel like there's new people out there. I mean, you
Yeah.
and I were out on the street last week and we
Yeah.
met those 3 people.
Yeah. 4.
Now,
The
4
one- yeah,
people, and they weren't from Dallas.
Yeah.
And they ended up here because something happened. You know, the mom
Yeah.
had a story, but we just want to get back to Sanger.
Yeah.
But I said, oh, then you've only been here a couple of days. And they'd been around for
Yeah. A while.
quite a while. So,
How far is Sanger away from you?
oh my gosh, I thought,
Sanger is closer to here than it is Dallas.
yeah,
It's not that
Minutes?
far.
Well,
no, I know.
I mean, from Garland, where we were,
it's
to
far,
Sanger.
but from
Yeah.
here, it's not that
Not
far. So it's just weird. I mean, I just know that I would love to be able to work myself out of a job.
Mm-hmm.
You want to solve homelessness, then you won't
I
have
would
a job.
like to see it solved, but I don't
It's
know.
hard.
I think as people move forward, I can only hope that they begin to work better together and listen to each other better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm with you. I
Um,
think that's the key.
I mean, I don't mind people that think it needs to go this way.
Mhm.
I have had somebody say to me that there was a guy on the street, and this was last year, and it was one of the first guys I helped all the way through, but we got him off the street, and I was told by somebody that he doesn't qualify, and this person was seeing him all the time. And
So hold on. You're working with someone on the street, or you just met them,
honestly, the city called, I'm not going to mention cities or anything,
right?
but
Someone
the
called,
local ministry called and said nobody will help him, and stuff like that. So, and then I went out there and we helped him and we got him right off the street because I don't want to sound, it was like, well, he doesn't come to Bible study or he doesn't, the different
they had
reasons.
qualifications.
Yeah. They doesn't
Yeah.
qualify. And I think everybody deserves a second shot. I mean, the guy who helped the Good Samaritan, he didn't say, hey, dude, Baptist or Protestant?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't say,
Yeah.
what do you stand for? The Good Samaritan scooped him up.
Yeah.
So I think Dallas, though, is on a good trajectory. I think there's a lot of people that care.
Yeah.
And
I love the idea of like a quilt and different pieces of the quilt. Like we all have a different part to play.
Mhm.
yeah,
We're not all, if we all played the same part, that we wouldn't need.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I
You know
was
what I mean?
talking,
Yeah.
I was talking with my staff, and I think I was talking. I don't know who I was talking to. I talked to too many people, but that we're all the little ministries that are helping with the homeless situation and the poor in our city. They all have a personality,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them are a little toe, some of them are big toe. If you don't have a little toe, do you have a little toe?
I have a little toe. It's on my left foot.
Yeah, so I mean, it's hard to walk without a little toe. You know, you can't pick anything up without a thumb.
Yeah.
You
It's
need,
not that hard to
you
walk
need
without a little
eyes.
toe.
I think in my life, before I found out that I wanted to help the people that I help, I always wanted to be what someone else was doing. I'd look at someone and go, "Oh, I want to do that." If I would have met you 15 years ago and worked for you, I would have wanted your job and your ministry. Oh my God, this dude, it's killer. I'm going to go start my own.
You can have it.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And my heart was not, my heart was weird. I mean, I'll be honest. I love me. You know what I mean?
Somebody's got
I
to.
do. People are like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Man, I love me." That's why I'm a selfish. That's why I need Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think we're lucky to do. You like that, Wendy? Kissing my hand.
I mean, Jesus
I'm a legend
loves
in my
you.
own mind.
That's
I mean,
okay.
I'm a mess,
You.
Wendy.
That's okay.
Nobody else does.
Huh?
Nothing.
So, I mean, I love working with everybody. I love sitting in a room when they're starting to try to talk and solve something.
Yeah.
Metro Relief always wanted to be a part of hopefully helping make policy and
Yeah.
be a part of the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons we want to do a podcast, because there's things that need to be talked about.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can educate people.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And help
and learn
people.
something at the same time too.
And learn something for ourselves.
Yeah.
That's why we're,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm excited, and I like the way, people can look at you and I when we have CEO and executive director, but they don't know the vision. We want to help people in other cities use our model,
Mm-hmm.
because we think our model's pretty successful. If you want boutique,
Oh,
special,
look at that.
Yeah.
Good work.
quality service, we're not about the quantity. That's why Helping Up Mission started Baltimore Relief. They came down. That's
Yeah.
why you're talking to Cincinnati. That's why it's happening in Detroit. Where else? Columbus.
Yep.
One other, isn't there? Columbus, Detroit, Baltimore, Cincinnati's coming. So I mean, that's what's exciting in that what you're doing. I mean, I couldn't be the executive director without your help. But then you want to take it out and have people use our model.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's why you're CEO and you're founder. And what I like is that we're allowed to call ourselves anything we want.
Yeah, good job. You are.
You called me, what was my first title? I had to Google it.
Catalyst.
Yeah, I thought he was hiring me for development or something. I get the job offer and it says Catalyst. And I looked at my wife and said, "Who is this
A
dude?"
catalyst.
So I had to Google it.
No, a catalyst is like
Starts a fire.
change
Yeah.
agent.
Change
Okay,
agent.
cool,
And
cool.
so I'm like,
like
honey,
that.
I don't know, man. This is
We needed a
trippy.
change.
Yeah.
We needed an
And
agent.
so
Yeah.
then, but when he did that, I
Special
Googled it,
agent
business
man.
definition of catalyst, right? And I read it, and I knew why he hired me
Yeah. Yeah.
to start change.
And do you think you've done that? I think you've done that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm working with you.
No, everything's the same.
No.
No, yeah.
No, I think we've done a good job, and I
Yeah.
think, and it's okay. We've
Yeah.
changed for the better. Change is hard, but if you're going to stay in this as your vocation, it's always going to be changing.
Yeah, every day. is
I mean,
one.
Austin's been around for a couple cycles now, I would think, the way you would say it, where, the whole thing's here and it comes around. I mean,
Yeah.
we were talking about some of the things that are happening now. If there's an administration change, or
Mhm.
if there's a change where people are dependent on things, that may go,
Yeah.
you kind of know the cycles
Yeah.
and
I'm
the
a-
ups and
I'm
downs.
a yoga master.
Yeah. And that's what I like about you and all the people we surround ourselves
that
is
means.
we don't,
Yoga master because I'm super, super flexible. And Metro Relief is too. It's
Yeah,
one of
we're
our
very-
best characteristics is
What
that
do-
we are flexible.
well, yeah, man, we, our our principles are pretty firm. Firm.
Yeah.
But our methods are flexible or fluid.
Yeah.
You know,
master.
You like the trees in Florida, right? Well, palm tree. You like a palm tree. Everyone thinks that the oak tree is the best tree to have, but it's not. Oak tree, a good wind, it'll pull the roots off. But the palm tree can go horizontal. It can lay flat, and once the storm is over, it'll come back up.
I'll be darned, I didn't know that.
Learn something new.
Palm trees are really good at playing.
We love it when we find out we can do something a better way.
Yeah.
And we because that does show us like, oh wow, we kind of been doing this wrong. We can do this and be more efficient.
Yeah.
We can get that ID this much quicker. We can get them home that much quicker. And that's why we meet once or twice, 3 times a week as a group on the staff to talk about the individual people.
Yeah.
And we help each other out. I mean, at Metro Relief, I've got a superstar staff.
Amen to that.
I mean, they're all
they're gung ho. They're excited.
Yeah, they have a heart for it.
Yeah.
I
have a question.
Yeah.
If you had a city that you work with, which city would you think is growing right aside you, right side by side with
City of Garland, Texas?
No way! No way!
I think
it's not so.
I think that it's a really good relationship. We learn from each other. Yeah. We respect each other. We understand that our hair's, I always say it, our hair's not on fire. We know that we know what we know that we know that we know that we got to do.
Yeah.
And we're patient about it with different people. I think it, I got a lot of respect for the city of Garland. You know, I think for them to do what they did and how they handled it since 2009, I think from you, I've understood the legal side and the taxpayers' rights. And then the city of Garland, you can't arrest your way out of this.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? You can put them all in jail. They're going to get out. They're going to be good in jail, man. Yeah. 3 squares and right.
3 hots in a cop. Mm-hmm.
So, but there's a lot of cities. There's a lot of cities.
That was me. I think I blew into the microphone.
Oh, there's a lot of cities though
on accident
that are stepping it up.
Yeah,
because I think that's why there's some cities around the Metroplex that still say we don't have any homeless, none, and that's fine. But there's a lot of cities realizing if you look at what they're asking for outside services, you know, you can see that there's a red flag.
Yeah,
you know. The person that has to handle calls, complaints, and the 311 in a small, not in Dallas, in a suburb, you know. So what's your job? Well, I'm the homeless liaison. Oh, wow. Well, you know Wendy? No. Well, what's your job?
Yeah.
I take all the complaints for the park. I take all the complaints for this. And then I take all the complaints for this. And then I do homeless. And that's not working.
Yeah, it's not.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I know working with you, I can second everything that Austin said. You are amazing.
You're amazing, Charlie.
Stop.
You really are. You are amazing. Right on cue. This guy's good. No, you are. You really are amazing. Everything about you says we're going forward, because that's what it's all about, going forward and walking side by side with the people that we're here to serve.
Yeah.
So I thank you for everything that you are doing and continue to do. I mean, if I can just touch the hem of your coat, I'll be okay.
Oh my, that sounds ridiculous.
It's so corny. That was so corny,
so
but
corny.
It's mine. It's mine.
No, it's cool.
It's yours.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you.
I mean, I like you too, but nothing like that.
Don't hate.
You can't keep your hand off my garment.
So,
thanks,
Charlie.
Wendy. That's nice to say.
I appreciate you. Thanks for talking to us about Dallas today.
Yeah, and thank you
and
for having this podcast and the voice for the homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You know, for Metro Relief.
Yeah, of course. Appreciate you guys. Peace out.
Peace out.
Like what you heard? Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Our team will respond to any questions you have. This podcast depends on support from its viewers, and if you want to get directly involved, join Metro Relief as a donor or volunteer at metrorelief.org.